So I don't normally do drop tests on my YouTube channel. One is because they're super unpredictable. It's hard to make a drop test scientific unless you have multiple devices. But they're still interesting. So when Anker reached out to me and said, "Hey Jerry, we want to sponsor a drop test. We have a new case coming out called Carapax. We want to put it on one of your phones and see how the iPhone handles a drop." So today that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna drop test two iPhones. One's gonna have the Carapax case from Anker on it, and one is gonna be naked. And we'll see how durable Apple's new iPhone glass really is. Let's get started. So just like with the essential drop test, I have both phones over here plus the case that we're going to be testing. And then on this side, I have a phone recording in slow motion. This is the Galaxy Note 8, the clear version that I made a couple of days ago. And then on this side over here, I have the Galaxy S8 Plus, also recording in slow motion. So I'll do a couple different drop tests, one sliding it off my knee, seeing how it handles the concrete, and then from waist height, and then chest height. I did a poll on Twitter a couple days ago actually, asking what the common height distance was for a drop when you guys drop your phones, and waist height seemed to be the most common. So we'll probably do a couple different drop tests at that level to get a good idea if the iPhone 8 will survive a normal drop. So this is the Carapax case. Looks like it has two layers to it, an outer hard plastic layer and an inner rubber layer for impacts and drops. And it looks like it has the dual protection where it counts on the corners and the sides. So both of these phones are fully functional and brand new. Both of them are in very pristine, out-of-the-box condition. The gold one's going to be falling naked, and the silver one is going to be falling with the Carapax case from Anker intact, protecting it. If you remember from my durability test video yesterday, everything underneath this glass is solid metal, so it gives it a lot of structural rigidity. But there is a circle right here in the center for the wireless charging port, and that's a hollow point where there is no metal behind the glass. So if, hypothetically, your phone drops on a rock in this center panel, it has a lot less protection and structure than it would if the rock hits somewhere up here where there's a metal backing to it. I know it's impossible to plan how you drop your phone in the future, but if you can avoid this circle in the center, that would be ideal. One more thing is that if you look at the back corner right here along the edge, there's a plastic ring around the inside of the metal, and this will give it a little more cushion against drops and impacts. Apple paid a lot of attention to this design. There's also a little bit of plastic right here along the edge of the screen, and that'll give it some cushion because glass is really hard and metal's really hard, but plastic has some give to it. So as long as there's a cushion layer between the two hard materials, it should last a little bit longer in a drop. But I think we've done enough talking, and it's time to get dropping. All right, so both cameras are rolling and we are just going to stand up. Take a look at this one first. The screen is fine, the metal is fine, back glass is fine. All right, we're good to go. Looks like the Carapax case is fine. Looks like all four corners are good, just a small little divot in the plastic right here. But the screen is still functioning. Let's do a little bit higher up. So now we're gonna do it from waist high, and this is where most people said that they drop their phones from, probably when they're pulling it out of their pocket. So looks like the back panel is fine so far. We have some small dings up here in the top of the corner, but the screen is still fine, which is good, and the back glass is still fine. With the Carapax case, the front is still fine. Obviously, that's probably the only part that's not protected. So as long as there's no rocks that penetrate the glass, I think we're still good. The corners are still good. Having a case with a hard plastic corner and the rubber underneath with the two layers of protection is a good thing. Let's do another waist high drop. The front is still working. There's some little damage on the corner there. The glass is still good. And on the Carapax from Anker, little damage on the plastics, but that's probably normal. You know, concrete and plastic don't mesh well together. But it's still better, the plastic of your case, than the metal of the phone. Let's go again from waist height. We'll do it 2 more times. We'll drop it directly on the side like this. Oh, dang it, right there. Right there on the corner of the screen we have some damage. The screen still functions though, but it cracks all the way from the home button over here to the edge of the glass. The metal's a little bit scuffed up on the side, but the Carapax is still fine. The screen is working, and that's about what we expected. A case is gonna protect a phone against drops. Way better than no case. Since this phone is already broken, we'll do it from the back, face down, and we'll do it from about chest high. Looks like the Carapax, the front screen is still working. We'll take the case off really quick and check out the back cover since it hit pretty hard on the back. Back is still 100% fine. Let's check out the gold one. We have a lot more damage on the screen, but that's probably because the glass was already compromised in the last drop. And then the back also roasted. I don't know if this is the most durable glass ever on a smartphone. It only took a couple drops to destroy the back and the front glass. I would say treat this like any glass phone and don't trust it with any kind of drop at all. Or better, if you're the type of person who's ever dropped your phone before or might drop it in the future, a case is a fantastic idea. I'll do a couple more with the case just for kicks and giggles. All right, we'll try it from head height. Head height, everything is still good. So I'm about 6 feet tall. I'll lift it all the way above my head and drop it from there. That gives us about 8 or 9 feet of height. Woo! So we dropped it from about 9 feet. The back of the case is pretty hashed, but the point of the case isn't to have a pretty case. The point of a case is to have a pretty phone. And the back is still fine, and the front is still fine. We'll see if it still works. That's pretty impressive. I give a thumbs up to Anker for sponsoring this video, as well as having a fantastic case for the iPhone 8. I'll put a link in the video description for this case if you want to get one for yourself. Obviously, we've seen it works. It protects the front and the back during drops, chest and waist high. So Anker did confirm that this supports wireless charging, and you can tell the cutouts are perfect for the camera, the mute switch, the volume buttons, they still feel pretty clicky, and down here at the charging port as well. I'm sure if there was a headphone jack, there'd be a port for that as well on the case, but there's not. Thanks a ton for watching, and I'll see you around.